Today's horoscope from AstroCademy, Gemini September 10, 2024. Today's moon highlights your long-term goals. While it's a good time to consider where you are heading and where you stand, today's transits emphasize shifting moods and ideas. It's not always straightforward to focus today. As much as you'd like clear answers and definitions, you may need to settle for limbo just for now. People can be beating around the bush and pushing boundaries the next minute. Perceptions are blurry for now. Backing off from a problem can help let your intuition click in, leading to a better solution if you are patient enough to wait. Fortunately, it's a good time to find the motivation to work hard at projects that have been on the back burner or to get moving on a health or self-care program. While astrology watches the luminaries and planets for the most prominent shifts within our lives, the asteroids also grant us subtle information, too. Pallas, the asteroid of wisdom and courage, has now soared into the kingdoms of Sagittarius. This will bring a nuanced trend to your heart, emotions, and life. You will now be encouraged to embrace further self-expression, idealism, learning, and discovery. Revel could enrich you to your core because of this. Allow this energy to enrich your life, journey, and relationships. You could unlock whole new horizons now and in the time to come. Is there a long-term financial goal that you want to accomplish? Consider what you want to work toward, as the Sun in Virgo opposes Saturn retrograde in Pisces. You could have a desire to improve your credit score, pay off debt, or save a certain amount of money. As you consider your financial goals, you will need to make some adjustments to your spending and savings. Your financial habits should be somewhat refined, so that you can work toward your goals. Being financially responsible may not be easy, but it will be worthwhile. Satisfying your natural urges is just what the doctor ordered this week. That's right, you are in charge of this. Try to focus on what you really want and then on giving it to yourself. Whether it's a walk by the beach to think over personal matters or a frank chat with your boss, there are certain things that only you can provide. You sometimes sink into the habit of thinking that what you want most deeply is something or some emotion only others can give you. Wake up from this coma and begin nurturing yourself. Today's vibrations are going to allow you to finally harvest the fruits of your labor. If you weren't so modest and discreet, you could benefit from a promotion or an encounter in your sentimental life. But your temperament makes you keep a low profile even in the most favorable situations. Apart from a small amount of anxiety at the beginning of the day, you are in great shape and your kindness won't miss touching more than one of the people you collaborate with. Keep up the rhythm. Mercury, the planet of communication, has reached his final full day in your relationship sector with his tasks thoroughly completed. Originally arriving 2 months ago for what is typically a 14 to 15-day period to open the lines of communication, Mercury's timing has been impeccable during Pluto's concluding months in Aquarius. Throughout this year, every planet entering your relationship sector has encountered challenges from Pluto, testing the balance between personal and relational needs. With Pluto now gone, Mercury has spent recent days harmonizing with planets in your communication sector to ensure these channels remain open. At the same time that Jupiter is spending his first weekend on his own in your romantic sector after Mars left 3 days ago, Venus is separating from an alignment with the asteroid Juno, the queen of commitment in an adventurous part of your chart. With Venus and Jupiter, the planets of love and luck moving towards a friendly aspect later next week, having the moon in an adventurous part of your chart over the last few days has already seen the spirit of romance and adventure start to come together. This is set to become a lot more potent. Our eyes in the sky. If you've ever been caught in that push and pull of wanting something deeply, yet feeling unsure of how to approach it, you're certainly not alone. We all experience those moments of longing paired with hesitation, those times when our desires feel powerful, but our path forward seems unclear. Today might bring some of those feelings to the surface, gently nudging you to confront them. But here's the thing, it's completely okay to take your time with this. There's no need to rush into decisions just because your emotions are heightened. Have you noticed how, when you give yourself a moment to pause and reflect, the right path often becomes clearer? It's like taking a deep breath after running suddenly, things start to make sense again. One thing to keep an eye on today is the temptation to overindulge as a way of coping with these intense emotions. We all have our go-to comforts, right? Whether it's reaching for that extra slice of cake, pouring another glass of wine, or getting lost in endless scrolling on social media, it's easy to turn to these distractions when we're feeling uncertain. And while there's nothing wrong with treating yourself now and then, today might be a good day to stay mindful of those impulses. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, will this truly make me feel better in the long run? Often, what we really need isn't another quick fix, but simply a little space to breathe, a moment to reflect on what's going on beneath the surface. What if today, instead of reaching for that temporary distraction, you chose to sit with your feelings and see what they have to teach you? Despite the emotional challenges that might arise, there's also a powerful sense of mental and physical strength running through you today. You're stronger than you think, and this is the perfect time to tackle those tough decisions you've been avoiding. Maybe there's been something weighing on your mind for a choice you've been putting off because it feels overwhelming or because you're unsure of the outcome. Today, you have the clarity and courage to face it head-on. Have you ever had one of those moments where you finally made a tough choice, and even though it was difficult, you felt an immense sense of relief afterward? That's the kind of energy you can tap into today. Trust yourself. Once you've made your decision, stand by it with confidence and resist the urge to second-guess yourself. Remember, you've got this. Think back to a time when you wanted something so deeply, but hesitated because of the unknown. Maybe it was a relationship that felt right but required a leap of faith. Or perhaps it was the desire to open up and share your true feelings with someone, but fear held you back. We've all been there, standing on the edge of wanting more but unsure of how to move forward. Today, instead of letting anxiety take the wheel, try to embrace those feelings with curiosity and self-compassion. Give yourself permission to explore what's behind that longing. What is it that you truly crave? Is it connection, understanding, or simply the comfort of being close to someone who gets you? And remember, you don't have to have all the answers right away. It's perfectly okay to take your time, to sit with your feelings, and to weigh your options before making any decisions. Sometimes, just allowing yourself to feel those emotions without judgment can help bring clarity. Have you ever noticed how, when you stop fighting your feelings and instead give them space to exist, the right path often reveals itself? Trust that in our own time, you'll find the clarity you're seeking. On the professional front, your energy and courage are at an all-time high. You're ready to take on the world, and you have everything you need to achieve your ambitions. But here's a little reminder: proceed with caution. It's easy to get sidetracked by intricate details that might seem fascinating but ultimately distract you from your main goals. Have you ever been so focused on one tiny part of a project that you lost sight of the bigger picture? It happens to the best of us. Today, try to approach things in a level-headed and sensible way. By concentrating on the most important tasks, you'll avoid unnecessary delays and reach a successful outcome more efficiently. Keep your eye on the prize and trust that you're moving in the right direction. Now, challenges may arise along the way, but here's the good news: not every difficult situation is as critical as it seems at first glance. When you're faced with what feels like a crisis, take a deep breath and react calmly. It's easy to let emotions flare up in stressful moments, but if you allow yourself to stay grounded, you'll notice that most disturbances blow over without causing any real damage. Have you ever found that after taking a step back and giving yourself some space to breathe, what seemed like a major problem wasn't so overwhelming after all? Today is a gentle reminder that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Just stay calm, stay collected, and trust that you'll make it through.